every organization uses different types of security assessments to validate the level of security on its network resources. With security assessments, it's important that you understand that each type of security assessment requires the people conducting the assessment to have different skills. And so with CMMC, this becomes very, very important. With the CMMC, we need to practice good cyber hygiene. So this means that we need to be able to have basic levels of cyber hygiene that are documented. So with level 3, that means that we need to be able to establish, maintain, and have a plan that demonstrates to any auditor that the activities that we are practicing to secure our network meet the standards for the government. This could be things like your mission, your goals, your project plans, any type of training, and or the involvement of stakeholders. So if you find yourself needing to reach out to different vendors to figure out how to implement the CMMC compliance, here are some good ideas that you need to think of to practice good cyber hygiene. First, come up with a plan. Identify the team, the scope, the methods, the tools, and understand acceptable risk levels that you're willing to accept in order for you to move forward. Next, we need to be able to collect information. So we need to have the ability to identify the assets, assign the value of those assets, identify any vulnerabilities and threats to those assets, calculate the risk, have a cost-benefit analysis, and if you're uncertain about things, then you need to have some sort of uncertainty or quantitative analysis on that. Next, you need to either hire a third party to come in or do an internal assessment to come up with recommendations. What are going to be some risk mitigation strategies that you will use in order to become CMMC compliant? Could you transfer the risk? Are you willing to accept the risk? What could you do to avoid the risk? And these are all decisions that management needs to be made aware of so then they can actually make the determination. Specifically, when we talk about risk mitigation, we're talking about control selection. How do we implement that? What are we doing to monitor it? How can we transfer the risk? Is there a way that maybe we can purchase insurance or hire a service provider to help us out in the implementation and transfer the risk to them? We could then accept the risk, and basically that means that we don't do anything for it. That's taking obviously a leap of faith that nothing's going to happen in that regard. Or we could just do risk avoidance, which means that we may want to discontinue the activity that we are doing so we don't have to necessarily become compliant with it in the future. So all in all, this shows how a risk management program could be stood up and helps you with the processes and the practices of the CMMC that can get you tied together with all the concepts that are related to the CMMC and put you in a position to be CMMC Level 3 compliant. CyberProtex can come in and help you become CMMC Level 3 compliant by offering services that will provide an assessment as well as audit existing services if you think that you are already compliant. Give us a call or email us today. Got Cyber.